Today I'm playing around with some cut files from Alex Syberia Design's latest release. I'm going to show you how I emboss them, and I'll be introducing you to some really super special powders. Hey crafty people, it's Tasha. Welcome back to my channel. If you like this video then please do give it a thumbs up, and if you aren't already subscribed I would love it if you would please consider it. Okay, I've chosen to work with the Mandala from Alex's latest release, and these are the powders that I'm going to be playing with. This is a new trio from WOW. It's called Moonlight and I created it, so that's why they are so special to me. So I'll introduce you to each powder as we work through them, but yeah, they're a trio. They are out now on the UK store, and hopefully will be out soon over in the US, but the UK store does ship worldwide if you just can't wait. So I'm taking the bottom layer of the mandala, so this is the one with the thickest lines. It is actually a 4-layer mandala, this cut file, but I desperately need new mats and a new knife, I think, on my silhouette, and I just had too much trouble with the top layer because of that. So I'm just doing 3, but that works out because I'm using the trio. So this one is called Twilight. It is a beautiful sort of navy with pops of white and black and a bit of silver. All the powders have got different, like a mixture of different grades, so you get that real interest. You can see the bigger pieces and the smaller pieces, and yeah, it just gives really good texture and visual interest. So I started by trying to blend the ink with a brush onto the cardstock, but it was just taking too long, so I gave up that quite quickly, and I'm just literally smushing it down into my ink pad. My ink pad needs re-inking. I don't know why I didn't do it because I have the re-inker, but I didn't. So I've ended up a few times I've had to emboss it twice because there was some drier spots that I wanted more coverage on, but that's simply just because I should have re-inked my ink pad, but I was being lazy and didn't, and that never pays off because that ended up being more work. As you can see there, there are quite a few patches where, you know, I've not got enough powder, so I'm just pressing that back into the ink pad, and then I'm going to show you another thing that you should not do, but I do. So do as I say, not as I do. Again, laziness, and I couldn't be bothered to tip the powder back into the pot so that I could tip it back over the paper, so instead I just smushed it down into the powder, and again that's just more work than just doing it properly. But look at that, this is my favourite one from the trio. That one is Midnight, and it's like a really dark navy black with gold, and it just looks like a clear sky at midnight. Then for this top one I'm using Grey Sky at Night. This is a grey with pops of silver throughout. You do need to make sure whenever you're using embossing powders with sort of like a mix or glitter through them, you need to give them a really good shake before you use them, just to make sure that you're going to get a bit of everything through your embossing, especially when there's like larger bits. They tend to you know, they're heavier. If you've not used it for a while, they settle to the bottom. So yeah, you just want to give it a mix up. So again, I had to do the Grey Sky at Night one a couple of times. So now I have all 3 of my pieces, and this is sort of how they're going to sit together. Because they have been warmed quite thoroughly a couple of times, they've got quite a lot of embossing on them, so they have warped in the sense that they've sort of just curled up a little bit, so that's easy enough to solve. I just grabbed the layering die set, circle layering die set from Waffle Flower, and chose a circle that was just a little bit smaller than the bottom piece for the mandala, and then I'm just adding glue, and I'm going to glue that straight down onto that circle, and that's going to give us a white background, and also it's going to help hold the mandala flat. So I stuck it on, and then while it dries I'm just going to stick it under something to weight it down. I just used my Misty. I apologise here that my camera was completely wonky. I was crafting with my youngest daughter, and I didn't notice that she'd obviously accidentally knocked it or pulled on the wire or whatever, so it was a little bit skew-whiff, but you can get the picture. So I added the second layer on, and then I'm just adding the third, and then here is where things went a little bit wrong, because I created that and I love it, it's beautiful, got the 3 layers on top, and then I was carrying on, and then all of a sudden half of my room came crashing down. And I'm only slightly exaggerating. Yeah, I had a shelf that came down, lots of stuff came down with it, including my drink. My daughter was in the room, luckily she wasn't hurt, but yeah, things got a bit crazy. I had to come out of the room while my husband tidied stuff up. Luckily he managed to save nearly everything, but when my room was then safe enough for me to get back in, I forgot to hit record again, but I completed it really simply. So I just took the Bold Thanks die from Ultinew, I cut it 3 times from navy cardstock, stacked them up onto a white shadow, and I just glued that and the mandala onto a panel of Neenah £80 that was just shy of an A2 size, and then matted that on top of a navy A2 panel. So that was my card, that was done. I hope that you like the card. I really hope that you like the powders. If you have a favourite, then let me know. Drop it in the comments below. And I hope that you have a lovely, happy, safe, wonderful week. Stay crafty. Bye.